folks, back again. This is your host, JP, aka the Demon, and Godric, who just left us.
Bye, Godric.
Bye, Godric. Godric, he might show up again. But anyway, we're here to talk about part 3 of Starsight. And, you're here with the normal crew. So let's go ahead and do our flight roll. I've got it right 3 times in a row, guys.
I know.
Yeah.
Flight roll. It was all that practice from episode 1 or part 1 of Skyward.
Yeah, part 1 where I messed it up 3 episodes in a row.
Every time. Yeah, I'll kick it off. Andrew, call sign Captain. I'm just here with my Gram needing some bread. She's telling me some great stories and ready to roll. I'm a little frustrated. I'm taking it out on the bread, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah, need that bread.
Need it hard.
All right, Ben, call sign Hitman.
Brett, call sign the director.
And of course, JP, your host, call sign the Demon. All right, folks. So we left you. We were about to discuss the maze. Sorry, if we're laughing off camera.
It's because of Godric.
Godric is causing some unique havoc to our soundproof curtains.
All right.
So anyway, we'll ignore that for you for now. And hopefully he'll come back later. But we actually left off and we were talking about, and Captain actually specifically was talking about the maze. Yes. And we were complaining in a way about Whimsic, a.k.a. King Crab, and his terrible training methodology. Yeah. And yet, we're here in this maze, which they've adopted, they think, from the humans as they were training to, quote-unquote, control the Delvers.
Yeah.
So,
guys, I just thought of another nickname for King Crab.
I'm ready.
The Tempura Tyrant.
The Tempura Tyrant. I like it.
Now I'm hungry again.
All right, Whimsic, the Tempura Tyrant, was having them go through this training in this. And the funny thing is, they don't even fully understand everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, there's all these kind of like they put holograms in the actual planes, or not planes,
the maze,
jets.
I guess.
Yeah. What do they?
The tunnels, the maze,
the fighters.
What the ships? I don't know what you call them.
Cockpits?
You don't have M-Bot. And you don't have the fighters. I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So they put holograms in the cockpits of the fighters, and they're randomized, but they're not randomized to the level that maybe is truly experienceable by a Delver. So I'll leave it off that. Let's talk a little bit about this, because I think this is ancient human technology. Mm-hmm. I think it's to the highest level of human technology, and I think it dates back to when the humans were, quote-unquote, controlling the Delvers. And I don't know the truth. Oh, hi, Godric.
Hi, Mom.
I don't know the I don't know the truth about how deep they were going to go with that, but what do you guys think?
I think it was at the height of M-Bot technology. Okay. Like the same people who created M-Bot are the same people who created this maze. And to the aliens, that they still don't understand everything that's happening, because Ben was in there and she still saw hallucinations that were not part of the program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, what you guys, was that her just like diving too deep into her powers, or?
Well,
it Oh, go ahead, Captain.
Yeah,
I'll let you go first.
I was just going to say we don't have a ton to go off of. I guess we can kind of believe Vapor's analysis in that the maze that they have there set up is a dead Delver, and that there might be some lingering powers and lingering essence of the real Delver. But I know they mentioned that they had done some custom programming, like with the little rocks that follow them, the little I forget what they call them, little asteroids that follow them.
Yeah, what are they?
I thought those were just
because those were all simulated.
They put rocks on.
Yeah, the little rocks were all simulated, but
no, I thought they were actual drones.
Yeah, they were drones
that were covered in rocks.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
they
because
just,
they kept running him because they ran into a situation at some point where they were going so hard when all of the political people were going in for that dude. That spin actually saved Braid in that one scenario where they were going faster than those, or pretty much to the limit of those particular fighters' capabilities.
in the dogfight, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of all we have to go off of as far as the Delver maze is concerned. I think overall it's just technology that they themselves don't fully understand.
Yeah.
Nor are they really trying hard to understand it.
No.
The programmers had no idea what the hell was going on when Spencer was asking questions about it.
I was gonna say that because they found certain things, right? Because they had those holograms, but then they would find, what was true or not in the holograms. But then there was times where there was true shadows, like moving around. We didn't get an answer to that. There were true shadows. There was like true issues that coming up, and also it was like closer. So Spencer was getting as a Cytonic was getting like episodes where real things were happening, and then nobody else was seeing them, and it wasn't a hologram.
Yeah.
And so that's where the dead Delver comes to mind. But I wonder myself, if is it you're gonna get some Godric bum butt on Mike over here, but is it really that
No, not them.
Guys, is Godric a poisonous species of invasive creatures?
Yes.
he might be a little
We need someone to come in and take him away.
Should we be reporting Godric to the authorities?
he's part Doomslug for sure.
He's definitely poisonous.
It was weird. There was a part where Hesho and Spencer were in the maze together, and they kind of both saw some of the same hallucinations. Like, Spencer saw rivers of human blood, and then Hesho said, we were submerged for a while. So it seemed like some of the hallucinations might have been mutualistic, like more than one person was experiencing the same.
Yeah, I think that.
But that's kind of really the only evidence we get for that.
My thought is that they have like a set amount of hallucinations that they kind of just like
rotate through.
Yeah, they rotate through, and it's not. But when you go into a real Delver, it's much more personal. It's about your mind and like how it's impacting you.
So I just got like a little bit of a theory that just kind of creeped up right now. I wonder if there's any relationship between how the Delvers are able to show you like these images and King Crab's influence.
Tempura Tyrant.
Tempura Tyrant.
Tempura Tyrant.
And Tempura Tyrant's influence on how they're handling the people of Detritus. Because, like, obviously he knew about this training ground. So maybe he was somehow privy to the training ground, and he took, like, those holograms as inspiration for what they do while they're chasing after the... like, it seems like they're very similar. Like, the Delvers use imagery where you're not actually seeing what you're seeing as a offensive weapon against the people that they're fighting.
Yeah.
And Winzik was like in charge of the station outside of Detritus. So I wonder if he was inspired by this dead Delver and what it's capable of doing, and then that's how they came up with the idea of projecting images into the Cytonic's heads at Detritus.
That would give Spencer a great motive for hating him more much later.
Yeah.
Because he would be responsible for directly projecting the imagery and chasers.
I think we're gonna find out that he was probably in charge of that station.
Yeah.
at that time.
He was.
Yeah.
They already
Did we know
they
that
already
for
said
sure?
it. Yeah.
At
So
he's
He's-
Spencer's tasting out now space.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But we don't know when they found.
Oh yeah, we don't know when they found the
Training
Delver
Right.
training area. Yeah. The thing that was interesting to me is that Delver training area was significantly similar to the falling debris that Ned and Spencer were in together,
yeah.
and it speaks to me
was.
just like ancient human technology. And the reason that he probably found that fucking thing was probably because it was right outside of his stupid prison base. Mm-hmm. Because it was probably floating in the atmosphere of detritus.
The training ground?
That is super nefarious, and that seems like just the type of tactic that Whimsic would employ because it's not overtly aggressive, but it's definitely still an attack of.
If it wasn't
Of a
there,
sense.
he knew about the technology somehow. I mean, that whole detritus was designed to be a place where humans were studying, maybe controlling, supposedly.
Or trying to figure out how to control the dolphins.
Maybe. Or maybe just trying to communicate with them. We don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
Victor's write history, and we'll see. And I won't deny that humans might have been trying to control them, for sure.
Yeah.
I know us, and if the wrong
Right,
faction's
yeah.
in charge, we're definitely doing that. But
So, do you think that it's possible at all that humans actually are somehow responsible for creating Delvers?
I don't know. That's interesting because I will tell you this: we are very commonly, as humans, apparently more common than most other aliens. Most commonly, cytonic. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two,
We expanded
it's-
quickly.
very quickly. And also, we can control them. Well, define control. We can redirect them easily because we can communicate with them mentally. And Spencer found that out, and so did Braid,
Yeah.
which we'll get into.
I mean, they can, but the first time they tried, it got redirected to them, and they couldn't do anything about it.
But we don't know what redirected it at them.
Exactly. Like,
Just like Whimsic had no idea that Spencer decided to redirect this one right at him.
yeah. Like,
It's like-
Spencer didn't try that. She just, like, get away, go after that ship, and then it went to Starsight.
So like there's so much like not understood that we may have known, or maybe we were that naive back then too, playing
Yeah.
with fire. You know,
There's a part of me that wonders if somehow Delvers are related to, if they're AI themselves, if they're somehow created by humans, and if the whole through the grapevine interpretation of maybe they didn't actually try and summon and use the Delvers. Maybe that's just a game of telephone that started off as humans created Delvers.
Ooh.
that's
that.
super interesting.
That would, yeah, that would actually follow a similar storyline to a popular video game franchise, Mass Effect.
yeah.
Ooh,
In Mass Effect, the Delvers are very similar to the Reapers.
Yes.
And weren't the Reapers created by the proteans
Yes.
to like stop the other races from growing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of similarities between a lot of those, between that game and this story. And I just, as I was listening to the audiobook for Starsight, I had wondered if Sanderson had ever played that game series. Because there is some key similarity there.
I'm not sure. That would be interesting to ask him. But
Yeah.
I do like now that you say that, I'm like
Yeah.
kind of like, oh man, what if the biggest thing that we have here, the beauty of this book series is that we following Spencer are essentially new age humans.
yeah.
We're humans that were blasted to the dark age and that came out of it. We don't even know our own fucking history. The only history that we know is stories from like decades ago that don't matter to any of the reality that happened in the recent future.
Yeah.
So what we know is like it's kind of the same thing as us knowing like the story of Achilles.
Yeah.
it's the same thing. And they know the story of Achilles, and they know the story of the 1980s Russian guy, but they don't know the story of what the fuck happened to all of us in this time period from this point on. Why? Well, because it was covered up, it was shit over, and also we were at a period of time where that wasn't, I mean, we just don't know it, man. We don't have the record. So I think we're at the mercy of the reality that we could have been very evil. We could have been doing what the superiority was saying we're doing, or we could be doing something totally different that nobody freaking understands yet. And if I know what Sanderson, it's going to be something that none of us expect anyway.
But I can totally see the humans 3 times trying to conquer the universe. And
that's what they said.
Mate, I think that's totally believable. I don't know if that's the complete truth, but I think that is more the truth than not the truth.
Here's why I wonder about that, because like in order for us to get together and conquer the universe, we got to be unified front.
But if there's one thing humans have shown, it's that we can put our differences aside when there's a bigger thing we're after.
That's true. That's very true. Suddenly we're not the countries, we're humans, baby.
The humans in this story were allied with Elenique's people, and they had a few other alliances with other alien races.
Yeah, but that's why I don't know that it's... So this is my history thing thinking, like my history brain. It's like... Everybody that's saying the humans are this and humans are that, but the people that we were allied with, they're not necessarily evil. Like I think that we got the victors dictate history, and I think history got written in a certain way. I'm not gonna take away from the fact that we might have been aggressive.
But I mean, it could also just be. I mean, it could also be like if we use an analogy of like, let's say, substitute the humans for, Nazi Germany, and the people that allied with us with like Japan. Just because you might have some people that are doing bad things at the head, doesn't mean the humans are doing that.
Well, remember,
it just means that the people in charge at that time. Are doing that.
And remember also that Spence's ship was, they avoided war. Remember the ship that crashed on Detritus was staying out of the war, the Fourth Human War. That's what they said. So, I don't know, it's really interesting. I think we're going to learn. I don't know. Personally, I'm wondering how deep Brandon Sanderson wants to go with this because... Because what he kind of started writing was like, he's like, I'm going to write this like more... chill. I don't know that it's possible for him. Because his world building, like his the way that his mind works, his books just turn into like this. Now I see like a million different potentials and a million different, it's just
there's also humongous. The potential that we're being the superiority right now. And we're like, this is a Sanderson book. So it's gonna be deeper. And then maybe he's just like, and it's just like, oh, that's what we thought. Right. It's true. Because maybe he wants to keep it more. I mean, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think it'll be surface level. I think it'll still surprise us. But because it's a young adult book compared to like Stormlight Archive, I think it potentially could be a little bit more
straightforward.
I don't know if the fans that are deeper into the Cosmere and reading like deeply some of this stuff, but I had read. Somewhere that there was going to be a book 4 and 5. I'm not sure on this. Maybe
I was curious about that too. Is it going to be a trilogy or is it go beyond?
Yeah. So anyway, if you could give us some insight,
shortly
that'd be great,
before the podcast here, I looked up the stuff on what was available for the story on Wikipedia. And apparently Sanderson had said a few months ago that he was planning on doing a 4-book series for this.
Okay.
So
cool.
I don't know how accurate that is. It's Wikipedia, so
I hope that's the case because that means we'll have some closure within like 2 years because this guy's a freaking machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but I would like to see more than one more book in this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to. I mean, I'm sure he'll do it justice no matter how long he makes it, whether it's 1 more or 10 more. But I want at least 2 more books. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's a good enough story to want more. So
Yeah.
that's what matters.
But I also don't want to have to wait 15 years for the end. I want
Also,
right.
if you give some pace, it'll come out next November.
Yeah.
Well, so I read, and I don't know that this is true, so maybe some of our fans could, like, shit on this, but I had heard
Or
that he writes this book when he's flying places,
Yeah.
and that's where it started.
Well, let's buy him a
that's
trip
where it
to
started.
Japan. He'll finish the next book, release it early.
14 hours,
18 hours. Yeah.
machine. He is a machine.
Yeah.
But let's go into this real quick. So we haven't talked about the end, and I think we should probably do this. I don't think we do enough of that because normally we get so like ingrained into all the nitty gritty.
And we skim
over the end.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I feel
we do
that
that.
way. So, the real end is that Whimsic is actually a gigantic, tyrannical, craving.
Tempura.
He's supposed to be King
Tempura.
Crab. And he made
He's got big ambition.
He's got some big ambition, and he sends frickin' Braid to call a Delver outside of Detritus.
Yeah.
I wanted to murder them both.
I know.
And then all she's doing is flying around and screaming at Delvers. I was just like, and the way that the audiobook was so good. It like the way that they did it like every time that scream, I just like felt
Yeah,
this like
man. When Jeff at that Demon at that exact moment when Vapor seized control of Braid's ship, and Spencer was like, I told them that if we got this opportunity, I'm going to have to do it. As I was listening to the audiobook, I'm like, take the shot, take the shot, take the shot, do it.
But then it turns out the shot itself might have allowed.
Yeah. I totally
opportunity
thought she was
to
going to try to talk to her and like convince her.
Right
But she
there.
took the shot.
Yeah.
Let's back a tiny bit up and
Sure.
let's just talk about
Yeah,
this a
that
little
was
bit.
that was the climax of that.
Because that was the climax, and Spencer did something that I don't know that I agreed with to this moment yet. I'm trying to figure it out still. I don't know how I feel about it. She abandoned Mbot right on that building. She didn't go back for him. She was there,
She had to, though.
but did she? I don't know that yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know if you could teleport to Earth. Well, not Earth, Detritus. Our new Earth, I guess. Man,
But did they
Could you
raise the
try?
shields once she shot through the elbow but to see if she could get out.
yeah.
And they went through, so she went out. And then when she's out there, I'm assuming they raised it up so she couldn't get back in.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think she probably did need to. I'm just trying to think through my mind, like,
I mean,
I
honestly,
don't-
I wish she went back.
Was
I don't
there
think she
a
had
way?
a choice.
I don't
or
know.
Possibility. To
I
do
just
it.
don't know. I don't know because I don't know that she thought about all of the ways to do it, but maybe there was none.
I mean, I think the reason she didn't go back is because she
knew there was
she
none.
knew that either there was no way or it wasn't worth the risk considering what was at stake.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like, unfortunately, sometimes that's what you have to do. And I don't think there's a lot of people in this world that could make that sacrifice. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people that would sacrifice somebody or something that they know and have a personal relationship for the greater good. And she was willing to make that sacrifice because even though she knows, like, Mbot is her friend and she loves him and all that stuff, it's like, what's back at home? There's way more people that are potentially going to suffer.
Yeah, but,
And I think I think she made the right choice, and I think it was a really, really hard one.
Yeah, so my issue isn't that she made the wrong choice. My issue is like, I don't know how her power works yet. So like, I'm still trying to figure it out because like,
Neither does she, really.
yeah, that's what I mean. So like, I wonder, like, would it have mattered if she tried to go back and then teleported? Like, maybe that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's like, that's the logic spectrum that I struggle in, that I'm like in. I don't know yet. Only Sanderson knows, right?
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure it out. She made the right call. I think it would have been the appropriate call to abandon Mbot and go. What I'm trying to figure out is, could she not have teleported from a different location inside if she was trying to see if she could get to him?
At this point, I don't think she could have.
I don't think so.
I think she said she couldn't, and I believe it, but I don't
trust
know.
that if there was a way, she would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I know about Spencer, I don't think that she gave up. That doesn't mean that there was no way, but I think that she looked for every single way that she could think of.
Yeah.
I don't think she gave
I
up
agree
on
with
it
that.
willy-nilly.
Yeah, I agree with
She
that.
didn't have a lot of time to make that decision.
Yeah.
either,
She didn't
so-
either.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't have a ton of time either. This is one of the things that...
And she didn't have Mbot to help her figure it out either.
No, exactly. Oh, she didn't have that.
No
This is one of the
communication.
things that is different than a Sanderson book than I'm used to. Because normally Sanderson provides you with so much information. You could literally strategically decide a lot of things on your own.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you get to follow the characters. And that's just how my mind works. I tend to adjust information, and then I like to logically think how all the possibilities through those things.
Yeah.
Right.
And in this case, the biggest thing is that's unique in this book series is so brief because of the style of the book,
Well, I feel
which
like-
I love.
Yeah.
So I'm trusting Spence's when she says there's no other way.
Yeah.
Because normally Sanderson describes everything. And so that you know if there's another way or not. But in this case, you're just like, gotta go with Spencer.
Well, in this book, I feel like Sanderson follows Spencer, and we know what Spencer knows mostly.
yes.
And in that moment, everything we know that she's learned about her powers, that she can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed that way, yes.
She has to leave. And we don't know more. We don't know more than Spencer.
We don't.
That's all we know.
This is
Uninformed
first person goddamn these
Yeah.
first person goddamn books.
I mean, I'm sure Endgame Spencer, if she was back in that moment, could have done something.
Might have been able
Oh,
to
I
do-
bet you.
yeah.
But that'll be when she's like,
The master.
Yeah.
But right now, she's still learning. She just doesn't really know.
Also, it'd probably be so I think it's a negative for a while, but it could be a positive for Mbot in the long run. We talked about this already. It depends on what she discovers about Mbot and his new frame and his new freedom and etc. We don't know how that's all going to play out. It's kind of one of those things where you got to have faith that shit could get better.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, true to
So-
Spencer's original character, she's kind of forced to make impulsive decisions, but she seems, considering how long she's survived and how long she's protected as many of her crewmates as she has, she seems to be pretty
Yeah.
good at making impulsive decisions. So,
She
as a
does.
reader, you're generally on board with the
that's
decisions
why,
that Spencer makes.
Yeah, that's why, what's his name let her go?
Yeah, Jerkface. Jorgen Jerkface.
Jerkface.
Jorgen.
Jorgen Jerkface.
or as Jeff likes to say, shit face.
So I got a question for you guys. So I mean, this is kind of like a deep moment, right? So, goddamn Braid, goddamn her,
I know.
is calling the Delver out.
So aggressive.
My, so
And
aggressive.
I felt, yeah, exactly. Of course, Spencer's down. She gets there. She teleports to detritus. She's in there. She's talking to Cobb, and she's like, "Shit, I gotta go, man. I figured out what's going on." She finally made all the connections.
Before we go on,
Okay.
there's one thing I thought in that scene that was going to happen.
Okay.
That I thought King Crab sent all his forces there to die.
Yeah, I thought
give
that as
him-
well, Hitman. They
Yes,
were
I was like, oh, he
nothing
sent
but a
his-
sacrificial force from the very beginning.
To show the humans gain strength, and he's going to take power that way.
I think they were. Were they not? I think his original plan was to do that, but then he was going to call a Delver, and then
I
Use
think-
them as a distraction, essentially, right?
Right.
For the Delver.
I think
Yeah.
he was going to call it Delver. It's like, oh, the humans called it Delver, and then they reflect back at the humans and killed them all. I think that's what his plan was.
Yeah. But either way, the forces would have been totally
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
But my original theory was, before I found out about Braid calling the
Yeah.
Delver, was that he sent them all there to die and to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So they
like,
As propaganda.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, the humans are too powerful. We need to give me more money, more power to take control of.
you know
this.
what? I don't think that he. I think that he, Mr. King Crab, aka
Tempura Tyrant.
No. Tempura Titan. Yeah, Tempura Titan.
Tyrant.
I'm sorry. Titan was too aggressive. He's not a Titan. He's not a Greek legend. He's got to be Tempura
Tyrant.
Much better. Tempura Tyrant. So, King Crab, a.k.a. Tempura Tyrant, a.k.a. Whimsic, decided that, I think that he is literally smart enough that he thought, let me put this scenario in place. And here's all the things that could happen. Either this could happen, and I can spin it this way. Or this could happen, and I could spin it that way. But any way that it happens,
Right.
I could always spin it some way.
Yeah.
And no matter whether they all die, or they don't die, or this happens or that happens,
all of his-
I can spin
In
it
all of
my
his
way.
genius calculations, never did he think, okay, if the Delver gets teleported back to Starsight,
Nope.
what do it? No,
Yeah, it
that wasn't
wasn't.
even in his mind.
Not
it was
at
like
all.
the one thing he didn't account for.
It
Yeah,
wasn't,
he
but
adapted.
he still was able to play
Yeah.
it.
He
Yep.
still played
He
it.
still played it.
Which is scary, actually,
Yeah.
because I personally think, Ben, that he may have had a plan going into Detritus, but most of those outcomes,
Yeah,
he had a way to spin that.
Yeah.
But he
And they are
even found
all
one.
of the spins were basically the same though, so it's
They
easy
were.
to
Right.
adapt.
Yeah,
How do I
right.
blame the humans?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
In what way do I blame the humans?
Yeah.
However, I how did you guys feel in that moment when so first of all, before we get to this moment that I'm about to get to, we had some deep moments before it. First, Spencer convinces her old flight to betray their side,
Yep.
which is it seemed brief and quick in the moment you're reading it, but
Yeah.
there is a deepness to that.
Even the racist guinea pig fox.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
hates
Hesho.
humans so much.
He did. I would be the first to kill humans. And
Yeah.
I really like Spencer said,
Oh,
hey,
that
if you wanted to be
effing
first,
moment.
Yeah.
if you want to be first, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that moment was so good.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it.
It was so
No, and
good.
then it's like, oh, I got overruled. My crew doesn't want to shoot me.
Yeah.
And you know the truth. Yes. So, so good. But okay,
Right.
so he ends up convincing them to come back. She does. Spencer does. And that's alone, in the brief time that they had, a symbol of what they actually thought of her.
Yeah.
We know that. However, good old Braid, still doing the same thing. They fly together, though, the way they describe it. She has a true team. And she's flying, not like she was flying with her own team. She's flying like a true member of the team. Something that was pretty amazing towards the end is when she said to not Heschel, but his crew, and
His second in command, the shield bearer.
and also Vapor. Touch my wings. You're talking about these ships, and they're so good in like team and control that they could just like quickly touch and
Yeah.
teleport. But like the entire thing is she's not the same Spencer anymore as what we had in the beginning of the book, going off and like fearing. We know now she is a next level Spencer that can work with.
She
team.
really developed some
She's leveled up.
serious leadership skills in this story.
she
Yeah.
did.
hardcore.
She had to.
Hardcore. Now that moment when she had to shoot Braid or not shoot Braid, and Captain said,
Take
"Shoot
the
her!"
shot!
And
Take the shot!
I kind of agree. I think the only difference between my shot and her shot would have been I would have tried to shoot her before there was any conversation, because then there was not that moment where she could scream into super space. But it happened.
Right.
And I did love the description a lot about how space like expanded,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
contracted and stuff. But like, so it failed. Like and actually Spencer even thinks that the fact that she shot her was what gave her the strength to actually call
Find
the
the key.
Delver.
Yeah.
You know, and well, maybe it did.
Yeah.
That could be true. But apparently, as Cytonics, we could send them away. So I guess we can control them. I don't know. Maybe that's why humans thought we could.
Yeah, not
don't know.
control, but direct them maybe.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
correct.
I don't doubt that there are situations where they could be directed and used, but I think that I mean, to me, a Delver, like, I would think of Delvers as like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, of course, if you're the one in control, then it's going to be very powerful for you.
Yeah.
But all you need is for one of those to be taken, for one of those to be lost, for one of those to be not in the hands or function not in the way that you expected.
Or redirected.
It's like,
or
is it
whatever,
really
yeah.
worth the risk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's like kind of what the Delvers are. It's like, yeah, it's going to be a very powerful tool, but look at what you're risking already in the first attempt. Now it's right outside your doorstep, which you didn't expect.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that's kind of how I see the Delvers.
like
I think
it
they
is-
are controllable, but it's like they can also get out of control, and then it's like really bad.
The way that I view it is kind of like controlling Godric. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, you could direct him.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really know if he's going to direct back on you or not.
Yeah.
And
They'll just
the
scratch
reason
you.
for that is because we find out that Delvers are living.
Yeah.
Well, in a way.
Yeah.
living,
They have
as
some
much as we
type
know.
of consciousness.
So Delvers have
It
some type
seems.
of consciousness. They just don't understand our microscopic level of
Yeah.
baloney. So it's the same way as a fly trying to manipulate me, not to kill him. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a hard thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if I'm that big and that different, and then somebody's like pissing me off like a fly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill that goddamn fly. That
Yeah.
fly might be a world in the case of the Delver. But the thing is, they can do it because the fly can project to the Delver's mind that a hornet is behind him.
Yeah.
And if a hornet is behind him, he's going to go kill the damn hornet before the fly. That's how I viewed the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like,
Well, I
that's
really
not control, though.
Yeah. I really liked this the scene, although I guess maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I really liked the scene where she like literally expanded to like basically like in her mind she expanded and saw the world from their point of view
level, yeah.
and then brought them down to her point of
Yes.
view. Like I thought that this was such a cool scene. I think like I often hear people like say things, you know, where they're so in their own existence that it's hard to see anything else.
Yeah.
But then I've also talked to people that talk about how like, oh, none of this matters. Do you know how big the universe is?
Yeah.
It's like, no, well, actually both of those are true at the same
Right.
exact time. Like
Exactly.
your existence is infinitely important and means nothing at the same time.
Yep.
Those two things can be true.
Yeah.
They may seem counterfactual, but they're actually both existing at the same time.
Yep.
And it's how you find that balance. And I just thought that was such a cool kind of, for me anyway, that's how I kind of like interpreted the metaphor of that. It's like you have this big Delver thing where like all these little things don't matter and it's just like, oh, they're insignificant. But then you bring it down to our point of view to where it can actually see it and experience it, and it realizes, oh, these little things in their mind are just as big as us. You know what I
The
mean?
fact that she could bring the Delver
Yeah.
to that level for a moment, even a moment. Mm-hmm. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa,
I know.
whoa. Sorry.
I'd be really interested to see if we get a chapter in the next book from that Delver's point of view. Like going around, there's just this big fat planet to all the other Delver. Dude! Fucking stop it! These things think!
Jesus.
Cosmic sizing.
How do you how do you feel about Spence's defensive impulse to send it directly back to Starsight, knowing what she knows about Starsight?
Yeah.
To me, I understood it as a defense mechanism, like kind of like you train all the time. You train all the time. You cross, and if somebody crosses you, cover and you punch.
Yeah.
It's like automatic.
Automatic. Yeah.
That's how I felt with her.
And the other thing is, though, is that like she didn't have many options. She had only a select few locations in her mind.
Yeah.
She can't just know the location. She can't just say like, "Oh, I want to send it to the middle of nowhere, and then we'll deal with it later." Like she had, okay, do I send it to detritus? Well, no, because she only had a select few like actual sensual locations that she could feel and send something to.
Yeah.
It was literally only three different locations. It was detritus, Starsight, and the maze simulation, which was only a few hours from Starsight.
Well,
so both of those locations were the same. Light years, Both of those locations were basically the same.
But Captain, I don't even think that the maze had enough noise.
Yeah.
I think Starsight was the only one that had enough noise.
Yeah.
Right, because she said, and even if I send it to the maze, it's just there's nothing to destroy, so it's just gonna go to the next closest thing, which was Starsight.
Yeah.
But, when she sent it away, I felt it wasn't her intention to send it to Starsight. Her intention, I felt, in the book it said that she just wanted to send it to this ship that were threatening her planet.
Yeah. No, she just sent it away.
She's like, it got redirected, and the closest thing she could do was to that ship.
Well, when she went into that zone, all she could feel was this like annoying spot over there. She's like, go to that spot.
Which was the ship. And then the...
Wait, Ben, what was it?
And then the dog was like, oh, is this a ship? And then he followed that line back to Starsight, and he went straight there.
He filled the radio line or whatever it was,
And it wasn't like her intention.
Because he was broadcasting the whole thing.
It wasn't her intention, but that's what happened when she did it.
I have to say...
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I have to say, I absolutely... Like, in that moment, for a brief minute... And these two moments played so perfectly in my mind. I'm curious if it played the same way for you guys. But in that moment, I honestly thought Starsight was going to get devoured. I thought it was done. I thought all the characters that we just met, I was like, is it possible? Is he going to do this to us? And luckily, the next moment was just so epic of her being like, no, I have to go. And then she went again, being the true warrior leader that she is. Constantly coming against things in the black, in the dark, not knowing what's going to happen, but doing it anyway.
Get to pick their battles.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was super happy with how he dealt with that, but for a brief moment, I thought that was going to be the big conundrum. I thought she was going to have to deal with this instinctual thing that just happened and the consequences of it.
I'm with you a little bit. I'm. Because of how this book was, I don't know where the fuck the series is going. So, I thought I had an idea after book one on what book two might be like.
Yeah.
In a way that most books that I've ever read dictate. I never know what's going to happen, but you get a feel.
Yeah.
This one, 10 minutes in, threw me totally left field. Yeah. And then I'm like, this is not what I thought I was going to read.
I basically got the same exact feeling. I should have mentioned this before, but I got the same exact feeling as kind of semi 10-minute spoilers for Endgame. But that's how I felt with Endgame. Oh. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing. It's like you see the path. Oh, this is what the second movie is going to be about. And then you're just like, okay, the entire thing that I thought the whole movie was going to be about just finished in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And I felt that way about this. It's like, we're on the path where I'm like, okay, this is the book that I expected, and then 2 chapters into it, you're just like, this is a whole new book. I feel like it was so cool.
So now my opinion is in that moment that you were describing.
Yeah,
I was almost like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
I just put it back because I couldn't project. I couldn't normally I make enough connections that I could calmly say that I have a decent idea on most I usually have 2 or 3 types of endings, and I could kind of figure out which one's which. This one I was kind of like, I don't really know.
Video just cut out for me.
Yes, I heard it.
Out of juice.
Oh! For those of you watching us, you will now see photos of the captain in old costumes. Something like that. I don't know. We lost the captain.
But yeah, I definitely I wasn't like positive that's what was going to happen, but I was like really curious if that's what he was going to do with it for a moment.
Yeah.
And then it was just accentuated because it like brought me to that point of just like, oh shit. And then it gave me like the best hero moment when she said, "No, I have to go."
Yeah.
And I was just like uplifted, like, yes.
But in that,
Yes.
in that moment, was it her grandmother that made her go, or like convinced her to go? Was he actually hearing her grandmother?
Oh yeah.
But I think that's not
Cytonic
a fair question. Because I think that like when you grow up with your grandma in a certain way, she has these subconscious effects on you, right? And so like in the end, it's like a nudge that only your grandma could give you, but at the same time,
It's already internalized.
yeah.
partly
It's like,
internalized.
does it matter? Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's like it's almost like that moment. Maybe she needed to hear her grandma. Maybe she didn't,
Yeah.
or maybe it was all in her mind. But in the end, it only becomes
In the
her.
end, she still makes the choice.
Yeah.
She does, yes. And it's because of her grandma, regardless. So my opinion is that whether her grandma really said go or don't go doesn't actually matter.
Because I'm also convinced.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think if her grandma, I really think her grandmother said something to her then. That was her,
Truly.
like, saying, hey, you should go and do this stuff.
Okay.
Like, only a hero can decide the next steps, whatever. That if she didn't say anything, that Spencer would have not gone.
Ooh.
And, like, when she was hearing her grandma was like, no, like, another opinion, and it's like, no, that's right, I should try to do this.
That's something I think we'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't
I-
think we'll ever be able to resolve that bet.
Yeah.
It's a good one,
Yeah.
though. Because we'll
I'm not saying
probably
it's
have
a bet, I'm just
conflicting
saying-
opinions.
You think?
I think-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So her grandma gave her the push in the right direction to do what was right.
I interpreted that as I thought that the very first time she heard her grandma when she was still on Starsight or whatever, I thought that was an actual connection,
Yeah.
and then at the end it happens again.
No. The first time was an actual connection because even the grandma
Yeah.
said I could connect to
Yeah,
her once.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And then it happens again at the end.
No, that's what we're debating. We don't know that it actually happened or not.
I'm saying it did.
Yeah.
And Jeff's saying he doesn't know.
And I don't think it did. I think I thought it was her like remembering the connection from before.
And also just her grandma in general. Like you got like people living through you in a way sometimes. But it could be she might have said that because sometimes people need that nudge of that person,
To do the right thing.
right?
Well,
So-
I mean, if the way that it's basically the same thing, but
it is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
too.
I interpreted that as the connection happened before, and then that became a part of her. That becomes a part of her, what influences her, and because everything that happens to us throughout our lives influences what's going to happen next. And so I saw the first connection as like an actual connection, but I thought that this one was just like her kind of remembering that connection and being like, you know what, that is true. I do believe that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't know.
So
Either way, Sansa made the right call.
Sansa?
Spencer. You can tell
not the
I
only one
finished
that
my
suffers.
whiskey already.
well, guys,
You know nothing, Andrew.
we know
Wrong
that.
book. Yeah.
I've got to give a huge shout out. I love the scene where Mortimer is gonna go like be basically dismantled.
His
and
draft
refused.
will be,
and then
will
the
be,
whole shit
reset.
happens. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, his draft was about to be erased, and then he was
Yes.
gonna be redrafted.
But then more gets to go out and do what she did, which was fucking awesome.
Did anyone see that? Like,
I had no idea.
Looking back on it, I should have like, that's so obvious. She's two people
Yeah.
in a person, so you can see through the.
No, I didn't see it at all. I'm so disappointed at myself, actually. Like, I didn't see it. Like, when she was going through, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm two people, so I could just tell when it was fake.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh my god!
why did I get that? Like, duh, that was the most obvious thing ever.
Yeah. When I look back at it, I'm like, God, why didn't I see that? I'm just curious if you guys saw it.
No.
No.
No, I
Captain?
didn't either.
No, this
I
makes
was
me feel better
blindsided.
then.
No, Sanderson. No, but I normally catch that shit.
Yeah.
Sanderson is so good at it.
Just
Like,
slipped it in the.
just
Slipped into
just
my
snap it
DM.
in.
Yeah.
Slip it in.
Just Sanderson sliding into Ben's DMs.
Sliding it in. Shoot. Yeah, but it was amazing. And but the thing that I'm worried about is that she did get reborn or born.
Yeah.
She did born, not
Born.
reborn, born.
She was born.
She was not unborn.
Yeah, she was not unborn.
Well,
But she now is like something else.
No,
like
she's
a
just
little
a baby now.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Spencer in this, when she wakes up in that situation, it's like, oh my God, anybody, why would you do that? First of all,
we got like a baby Groot situation.
I was so pissed because they were like, we're going to birth this war hero, whatever. But they have a certain amount of time. And they had 2 months left. Stop. So that she could communicate to the public in the news about what actually happened. Instead, they just rebirthed her real quick into a child.
I think that's part of. You have the government doing one thing, and the public has no idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude,
And so they
come
had
on.
no
Like,
idea. Like, they're like, oh, you know what? She is worthy of being born.
Yes,
So-
they were clearly not following their fucked government, because that's the case. Because that they literally that would have been humongous.
Yeah.
You know, Spin is knocked out, and then they had this war hero. Like, get some statements. Some fucking documented statements before you turn her into a baby. It's just like, I'm like, Jesus Christ. When Spin woke up and she's like, oh, she's a baby now. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It's like what my mind went to. I'm like, who are your allies here? There are none. The only one is now a baby.
Yeah. Well, that and
Sorry.
Kuna.
I'm sorry.
whatever Kuna. Yeah.
Kuna.
Well, Kuna's so clueless that she literally thought that the doctors were coming when assault
When it
forces
was,
were.
when it was Whimsic's coup troops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And I'm hoping
that
she
blindsided me for sure. There was a note of terror at the end where you're like, "Holy crap, Whimsic already had a plan D for this scenario laid out." And,
He does have A, B, C, D, E, F, G plans.
Like, oh,
Right.
boom, black uniforms now. We're
Right.
part of the
Yeah.
defense force.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Why? What happened?
Nothing.
What happened?
I just love something stupid.
Oh, no. I want to hear it. I want to hear it stupid.
It was really stupid.
Oh, okay.
It's just that her name is Kuna. And she's like kind of in the beginning trying to throw a coup.
No, that's Whimsic. She's not.
No, she kind of is. She's like trying to like
Kuna's
she's
coup.
playing her political things, and she's trying to like kind of not really throw a coup, but change how
Yeah, she is trying to
everything.
change.
Yeah.
whose coup was better, Kuna's coup or Whimsic's coup?
Whimsy's coup was clearly better
Whimsy's
because it
coup was
worked.
better,
Yes.
meaning worse.
Yeah. Any other last comments? What do you think?
What do you think Sansa?
There's not a rest, by the way.
Sansa.
What do you think? What do you think she's gonna come across? What do you think the first chapter of the next book's gonna be?
Spin?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Spencer is gonna find some whacked
The
stuff.
gorilla
in nowhere.
dude working
Yeah.
at an
Yeah.
acclivity
I bet
ring
she'll find a
mining
gorilla
camp.
dude, and I'll
He's
bet
just gonna
she'll
be
find
working at Jamba
a
Juice.
body fucking bot.
I got a bet right now
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
that she's gonna get back to her world or whatever, her universe, because Jorgen is gonna find her in the void, and they're gonna be like communicating, and he's gonna reach out and pull her in.
Okay, like the
Jorgen
arms.
will
I almost thought
find
the arms
her.
might be Jorgen. All right, let's do
Yeah,
this.
Jorgen.
Let's do this one, and then I'm gonna make a Brett bet too.
I'm really sad in the first book I didn't make a bet that Jorgen was become satanic.
Why did we not? Because we were too angry and arguing with John.
I was thinking that the whole time, and I didn't say anything. I'm like, I'm an idiot.
Ben, that's why you got to make more Brett
Yeah.
bets.
But I'm going to say the bet is Jorgen's going to communicate, or Spin's going to find them and communicate, and he's going to like lock onto each other and
find a way.
So-
Reunite.
So here's my question, because I kind of like this idea, but since you're the one that recommended the Brett bet, I'll let you decide.
Yeah.
Do you want to make that the Brett bet, like whether that happens or not? Or do you want to just have the Brett bet be, let's all say our prediction and only one of us will win at most?
I'm fine with either way.
Either way? All right, let's all do a prediction.
If
This
you
will be
have
an
a cool
individualized
prediction, okay.
Brett,
So, like,
overall Brett bet.
Mine is
So yours is Jorgen finds her in the void and pulls her back.
well, one of the two, like Spin or Jorgen, they're communicating through Satanic, and they
or vice versa.
like they make a connection and they put
Okay.
each other through.
Okay.
Captain, what do you think is going to be... What's going to happen to Spin in the void? What's going to be like our first chapter with her?
I think the first chapter in the next book is going to be Acclivity Ring Mining Colony, where she goes and she has to start back again from square one, where she has no powers or abilities, but she'll have to work her way up, find a way to escape, maybe get communications from Mbot or Jorgen, something along those lines.
That is a good guess, because in the first book she went to school, in the second book she went to school,
Yeah.
in the third book does she go to school again?
All right.
That's why it's 4 books, because she finally graduates after the 4th year.
There you go. After her
So,
senior year.
I was gonna make another Brett bet on this, but now that we've rephrased this Brett bet, it totally ties in. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go for it. So I do believe that Spencer is going to find with the hit. I agree with the captain that she's gonna find some kind of a acclivity like ring mining thing, but she's gonna meet Monkey Man that has already been sent there, and there's gonna be a whole load of shit, but she's gonna end up with a some kind of tech that's gonna allow her to utilize Mbot.
All right.
Dude, this
Does
could
have-
be like so fucking
Does have
wrong.
Doomslug
So-
with her too.
She has Doomslug with her as well, yeah.
Guys, I
So-
smell cinnamon.
I smell lemons.
Better
So
than
if you
lemons.
not-
Yeah, no lemons. That means she's pissed. I don't know.
You made this bet like crazy.
Kind of.
I was gonna make another bet after Ben's about the monkey and like something else, but now we're in this like super like this is gonna be fun to discuss.
So I feel like on the other side, I think that her initial thing is going to be that she's just kind of in the void. She's looking around and she's trying to find the Cytonic that she influenced.
Okay.
That's what I think.
The
Cool.
What does satanic she influence mean?
Huh?
What is the satanic she influence?
The one that she like changed its perspective on. The one that
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean the Delver? She
Oh yeah,
influenced.
what did I say? Cytonic?
Cytonic,
Oh,
yeah.
the Delver.
I got it. I got
Ben
it.
and I were looking at each other like, huh? Did we miss something? Oh, I got it. Oh, damn. That could be good, too.
Yeah.
Get some help
Yeah, it's a good
from
guess.
nowhere.
From the Delvers themselves.
Hey,
She'll just be
you remember
floating
me.
in space, delving.
Yeah, just delving around.
All right. Last comments? Any thoughts?
I can't wait for the next book.
Oh
any
yeah, no,
any other
man.
Brett bets?
As the saint always says, there's going to be 4 books.
Or 5? There'll be 4, I think. Let's see here. Do I have any other Brett bets, man? I don't know, man. This is crazy. I don't
Let's
know.
just,
We did good on the Brett bets though. We
I
did
think
at
so.
least
I
one
think
per
so.
part.
I think we'll leave it at that, folks.
Close it out.
Yeah, let's close it out. I don't have a.
Is there any little
thinking too
individual
fast.
things we didn't talk about
Just give me a sip.
that somebody wanted to?
Give me a sip.
I can't think of
That's good,
anything.
that's good.
Yeah, I think we covered it pretty good.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm glad
3
we
episodes.
actually successfully covered an ending. for
As soon as
once.
we stop, I'm going to be like, oh, we forgot to talk about...
Yeah, we always do that. That's why we want the discussion
Yeah.
of the fan show, because we always do. We never have enough time to discuss it all.
Yeah.
We only have enough time to discuss enough, and then we end up discussing more outside of this anyway.
Yeah.
Which is why we try to record at least part of it.
Part of it.
So I don't know. If you have more, let us know, because going into the next book, we'll make sure to talk about it.
Yes.
We're interested to know what you think about the Brett bets themselves. Please put them in the comments. That
Yeah,
would be
let us
awesome.
know your bets.
Yeah,
Yes.
we want to know, because then when we could talk about it when the answers come,
Yeah.
we know what some people thought.
Exactly.
But don't do it unless you're going to actually pay up.
Oh,
Right?
that's true.
I don't want you
too.
just sitting there watching us pay up. It doesn't have to be drinks.
No,
you can
it
do
doesn't.
push-ups if
do
you're
push-ups,
underage
yeah.
or if you don't
Yeah.
drink.
But if you have any other hypotheses about the future of the
Yeah,
book,
let us
make-
know.
put it
Let us
on
know yours.
and let us hear it.
Because we'll do revisits eventually, probably before the next book comes out.
Yes.
We'll do a revisit, and then
Yeah.
we want to try and go back and find the comments and things that you guys have said and discuss those as well before the third book. So
Not only that, we've had some fans have been commenting regularly,
Yeah.
and we cannot wait to revisit some of
I know.
those conversations because of that. But now
we just
that
have
we're
so
on-
many books
I know,
that we
but-
want to
but
read.
now
Yeah.
that we're on pace,
Yeah.
on the right pace, if you make comments before the next books come out,
Yeah.
we can actually talk about them.
because we're going to do a
that's
Stormlight
awesome.
Archive revisit now that
Yes.
the book has an official release date.
next year.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Not do we read those 3 books again, plus everything else we're gonna read.
Oh man, come on.
I'm probably just going to have to do the rereads that are online.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah,
the
'cause those books
rereads are
so long.
fantastic.
Yeah.
the rereads are
Yeah, I'll
fantastic.
probably just reread them.
So they are.
I wouldn't mind rereading them because that's when I first started. Well, you guys don't care about this. We'll talk about this after.
Yes.
I don't mind
Anyways,
rereading them either. I do tend to read many books in between our other books because I'm insane. So, which is why I'm reading a book on quantum physics
Yeah,
right now. Which
I
is
can't
fantastic.
do that because I have to listen to like Japanese podcasts
That's what
anytime I have
don't,
free
yes.
time.
If I did want to improve my Japanese like I should,
Yeah.
then I would.
Cheers.
Anyway,
However,
good 3 episodes, guys.
all right.
I love this
to
book so
Brandon
much.
Sanderson and Starsight and Skyward, and please let us know what you think and let us know what to talk about next. Chill.
To Lightbringer
Cheers.
and then Mistborn next.
Don't send it there. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of Lit Literature. If you liked us, please check out our social media at Lit Literature 1 at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't hesitate to join in on the conversation. We appreciate the conversation, the questions, book recommendations, anything of that sort. Join in right on the social media websites. And don't forget to check us out at our website, litliterature.com, and our upcoming projects, though there aren't many now besides Lit Literature, you can find at lyket.net, Lyket. We do have a Patreon account, but if you truly want to support us, please like and share. Cheers.